Maildrei had a near-death experience, the famous NDE, after the birth of her child. During a critical moment when she was unconscious due to blood loss, she experienced something that took her to such an incredible place that she didn't want to return. In this place, a group of people welcomed her and gave her guidance on what her new life with her child would be like. Hello, I'm Marcus, and it's a pleasure to welcome you here to Beyond the Life We Live. I hope you feel at home and absorb the lesson from this story we are about to tell. While you're here, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel, as this is very important to us, helping us bring new and impactful stories to you. Choosing to have a natural birth, everything seemed to be going normally during Maildrei's labor. After the baby was born, she was taken to her room, accompanied by her family. Upon arrival, the nurses informed them that they needed to take her for a bath, following the hospital's standard procedure. It was at this moment that they began to notice something unusual. She was extremely tired, and her color was changing, becoming very pale. Her lips and nails were losing color. This happened because she had lost a lot of blood during the birth. It was then that her husband saw her unconscious. He called her, and she regained consciousness. During the time she was unconscious, Maildrei had an experience she described as a dream, but it felt extremely real. She felt as if she had left the room and experienced something far beyond what seemed possible while she was unconscious. Maildrei felt as if she were traveling to another place, although she didn't feel the motion of the journey. She found herself in a very beautiful place, resembling a village. As she walked down this street, she encountered a group of unknown people. Although she didn't recognize anyone as relatives or friends, she felt as if she already knew them from somewhere. There were men and women in the group, but most were men, and one elderly man in particular stood out, engaging her in conversation. When this man asked how she was feeling, she replied that she was very well. He then asked if she knew why she was there. The man continued the conversation while the others in the group welcomed her with smiles, creating a sense of tranquility. Maildrei was dazed and didn't understand much. Then he explained that she had arrived there because of the birth of her child, and that her life would change over time, and important things would happen, especially with the arrival of her first child. He seemed to be giving extremely important guidance, but this information simply faded from her memory. There, the sense of time felt as if she had been talking for hours, to the point where she eventually expressed her desire to stay in that wonderful place. However, the man told her that she couldn't stay there, as she still had things to do in life and needed to return to her child and family. Despite her attempts to justify why she should stay in that place, he was firm, saying that it was not possible at that moment. Suddenly, she hears her husband's familiar voice calling her name and feels herself being pulled through a path of light back to her body, returning her to reality.
Maildrei, my love, please come back. We won't be able to live without you. Please wake up.
It was then that she realized that all the time she spent in that experience represented very little time in the real world. The doctors explained that she had a drop in blood pressure and was anemic, likely due to significant blood loss during childbirth. According to her husband, she was unconscious for about 7 minutes, a very short time compared to the time she experienced on the other side. Today, reflecting on the event, she remembers not seeing her own body while she was outside of it, and not knowing how she arrived at that place. The detail is that she felt the presence of someone beside her, though she did not recognize this person. This presence accompanied her throughout the experience. The return to her body was also a mystery. There was no clear transition of how she entered her body. She simply woke up to the sound of her husband's voice, as if awakening from a deep sleep. Despite the initial confusion, today she is sure that it was not a dream, but something much more real. And she believes in a higher power that is always supporting us, regardless of each person's faith, and that we should believe we are deeply cared for and loved by this being.